Perfect. So I'm going to talk about State of LinkedIn 2026. Once again, hello and welcome to our Growth Summit 2026. Today we're going to have many great speakers. We're being, you know, all these speakers are being real experts in building growth funnels for your social presence and growth. And yeah, I'm going to talk about where we are at the moment and LinkedIn as our ultimate platform for doing business. Um, Something what I want to start from is we are looking at the platform that has fundamentally evolved. It is no longer about how can you shout out loudest. It is about who can connect the deepest. So I'm going to walk you through the new rules of engagement. We will look into why some content is going viral, and going viral is now a liability. Um, I'm going to talk about why your company page is invisible and not performing, and how a new algorithm is reading your content like a human being, actually. So, welcome to the State of LinkedIn 2026. First of all, let's start with reality on the ground. LinkedIn has crossed the threshold of 1.3 billion members, with over 60 millions of us active every single month. But the raw numbers hide the complex economic reality. While the broader labor market has cooled down, with general hiring, down roughly 20% from pre-pandemic highs, and new economy has emerged. Because right now, in fact, we have seen the creation of like 1.3 million, not just white collar, not just blue collar, but AI collar jobs in just the last 2 years. These are roles that didn't exist a decade ago. And for those of us in B2B space, the stakes could not be higher. LinkedIn is now responsible for generating 80% of all B2B leads from social media. If you're not selling to business, if you're selling to business, this is not just another channel for you. This is your main channel. And yeah, um, here it's important to talk about that for years the game was about velocity, uh, just posting daily, chasing likes, and potentially going viral. That game is over. The algorithm has evolved and evolving significantly month to month. Um, and right now you can see that it evolved into what researchers called the 360 degree model. It is no longer relies on simple keywords. It uses AI to read your content for like semantic meaning, like a normal human does. In 2026, the algorithm calculates the depth score for everything you post. It measures dwell time. Are people actually reading your content, or just scrolling through this content? It values saves, like saving into bookmarks. It adds significantly more than likes. So crucially, the system now, for example, even penalize engagement bait. If you ask people to comment yes to get some PDF, the AI detects that pattern and basically penalize you. So the goal is no longer to be the famous to everyone. It is about being deeply relevant for very specific people, your ICP, your target audience, and warm leads. How do we feed this new algorithm? Document carousels remain the highest performing asset for engagement, driving a massive 6.6% rate. Why? Because they force the user to stop and swipe through this carousel and read this content basically, which boosting that all important depth score and increase dwell time. But the growth engine is really video. Video views are up 36% year over year. We're not talking about polished TV commercials, of course. We are talking about authentic vertical videos shot on just your phone. If you're still posting links to your blog in the post itself, you're hurting yourself for sure. Links send people away, which kills your dwell time. Keep the value on the platform, and LinkedIn will reward you. This is like really practical advice, um, because LinkedIn is pursuing their own goals. They want to increase your average screen time. And if you align with their goals, they're going to reward you. They're going to reward you with more attention coming from your target audience. Okay, we used to treat LinkedIn like a social network before, but in 2026, we must treat it like a search engine. Users don't search anymore for just accountant, They type, find someone who can help me to fix my SaaS pricing model. If your profile is just a list of job titles, you are invisible to semantic search. You must rewrite your profile to focus on outcomes. Don't tell us, you are a marketing manager. Tell us that you can help B2B SaaS to reduce customer acquisition cost by 30%. Uh, this is a difference. Here is another, the most critical statistics for 2026. A post shared by employee gets 6 times more reach than the exact same post shared by the company page. Uh, let that sink in. The algorithm has structurally deprioritized corporate broadcasting. In 2026, your company page is just a trust anchor, but not more than this. It exists to prove you are legitimate, and when someone check your profile, right? But your distribution engine is your people. So founder-led content and employee advocacy are not nice to have anymore. They are the only way to get organic scale and keep growing. If personal profiles are the key, then how do we scale, right? If you're just a single founder, you need to scale. And you have to do this through systemic employee advocacy. The data shows that while typically only like 3% of employees share content, those shares generate around 30% of all engagement, which basically means that not many people utilize this, but those who does, it performs very well. But here is a kicker for the sales team. Leads sourced through employee content convert up to 7 times more often rather than other leads. Why? Because you established trust. In 2026, you need to build system where your team can easily share your narrative, because you're arming them, to be leaders and to represent your company. This is the highest ROI activity available for you today. We are obsessed with likes, but the real money is made in the dark. And what I mean by this, so-called dark social, it's all about private messages, DMs, Slack communities, email forwards. This is where 80% of B2B content sharing actually happens. When you publish something and you're not reaching decision maker directly, maybe some person might be coming to his CEO with your content to prove that your product is really required in their team, and that's how your content is spread, around different Slack channels, internal team communication, and so on. And you don't measure this with your, Google Analytics, because this is like a relationship economy. If your content is valuable enough to be saved or like to screenshot this content, it is traveling to decision makers you will never reach with just, a random cold call or email or whatever. So stop posting for vanity metrics and start posting content that is safe worthy. so that people save it and share it. Right. One more slide about vertical videos. I briefly mentioned about carousels and vertical videos and 36% year-over-year growth, but I want to highlight this once again. This one is really growing. Look at the numbers. LinkedIn is trying to compete with other platforms. I already mentioned, that LinkedIn, they have their own KPIs and they want to increase average screen time for their users, but they also would like to compete with other platforms like TikTok. And that's why LinkedIn is basically fine-tuning their own algorithm to prioritize vertical videos over other formats. You don't need to think about LinkedIn algorithm as about black box because it's not a black box. Behind that algorithm, there are some engineers, and basically engineers are adapting this algorithm based on requirements coming from managers of LinkedIn, and they are pursuing their own KPIs. At the moment, we can clearly see that they try to compete with other platforms, and that's why vertical videos are performing better. And so we can utilize this in our own growth strategy and share more content with this format, using this format. Okay, organic reach builds trust, but paid media normally builds scale. However, the old way of running ads through corporate banners, to be honest, it is dying. It is not performing as before anymore. The breakout star of 2026 is through thought leader ad. This allows you to put your, even to put your corporate budget into personal posts, into promoting your CEO content or team members content. The results are, to be honest, undeniable. 1.7 times higher click-through rates and often 40% lower cost per lead compared to standard ads. Why? Because it looks like a human site. It's not a corporate sales pitch. You build credibility, you establish trust, and that's why you have to use your ad budget to amplify your best human voices. You need to spread content using your team members, identify your best performing human voices and apply your ad budget basically. I want to talk once again about your superpower because employees, your teammates, no matter what their position in the company is, you can multiply your communication channels. This is like the easiest way to scale. Instead of one company profile, you can have uh, CEO profile, and you can have all your employees' profiles to share valuable insights in your industry and to show your expertise and to establish this long-term trust with your warm leads. So practical advice, prepare content for your team and make it effortless to share it. And last but not least, it's not just about posting content. It's also about connecting and growing network to build community, to reach your audience, to hire talented people, even to establish strategic long-term partnerships or to find investors. So you can utilize the same approach and use more human voices. Finally, we must talk about AI. Most of us already using it, but there is a trap. LinkedIn algorithm is increasingly training itself to spot and punish generic AI-generated content. If you sound like a ChatGPT, you're invisible. It's not enough, to be consistent, to publish on a regular basis. Your content, if it sounds like AI-generated content, it worth nothing. So the winning strategy for 2026 is to use AI as your sort of backend copilot, but not front-end creator. You can use it to build a list of prospects, you can clean your data, you can research accounts, You can generate some ideas or frameworks, but do not let it write your final copy. The human touch, like the human premium, has never been higher than you can apply right now. Yeah. To summarize your playbook for 2026, um, you just pivot your format to video and carousels to capture dwell time, which is crucial. Shift your distribution strategy from your company page to your personal profile and employee advocacy. Optimize your profile for semantic search, not just keywords as before. And finally, use paid budget to amplify human voices, not corporate logos awareness. We are in the relationship economy. This is clear. The brands that win will be the ones that build the most collective confidence, the active community, not the ones with the most, spam. It's not about volume anymore. Yeah, I want to mention here on this specific slide, and I think it's really important because I was talking about different types of engagement that you can achieve following different strategies, utilizing like more communication channels, your teammates, your basically human voices, etc. Um, because LinkedIn is getting smarter, it is evolving month by month. We can clearly see this on a huge, to be honest, on a huge data set of our users because we are running CrossLike.club and it is like community-driven tool that can help you to stand out and in the most practical way to enable growth. You just set it up once and keep growing your audience over time. We have built like an algorithm that performs analysis of the network and builds the strategy to prioritize actions from community members to drive attention of your target audience. So CrossLike is providing mutual support and providing this mutual support within community of real professionals, and finally providing meaningful actions to LinkedIn itself to activate organic engagement loop. That's why I'm talking about, dwell time, how people interact with your content, not just scrolling through this content, but reading this content, saving it into bookmarks, sharing this over DMs. It's not enough in 2026. It's not enough just to ask your friends just to like your content. If your friends are going to open your post and like it and immediately disappear, it is not going to help you at all. You need like deeper engagement, and that's how our system actually works. So if you have not tried it yet, I strongly recommend you to take a closer look. You can just go to CrossLike.club and check it yourself. Um, right. So yeah, my maybe very last advice here is like stop broadcasting and start connecting. In relationship economy, your network is your net worth. And this is like very true for 2026. So yeah, thank you for your attention. I think right now we can go to Q&A session. We still have a little bit of time, so I'm happy
Yeah,
to
sure.
answer questions.
Alex, thank you so much for your insights in your slides. I guess it's very valuable information for us. And yes, we have more than 80 attendees here in Zoom and also more than 30 in our LinkedIn Live. So I'm going to collect all the questions across all the platforms. So let's start with the first question. It's from Susan. Actually, she's asking, LinkedIn has grown, which is great, but I found that my content does not get enough traction due to an overload of content. Of course, AI is everywhere. I try to boost the algorithm, but it takes too much effort for every post. My question are, how do I stand out? And also, how do I engage the algorithm to attract my target audience and generate momentum? It's a very good question. Alex, please, can you answer that?
Yes, yes. So yeah, I see the question. Yes, it's really very good question. And yeah, for other participants, for other attendees, in the bottom of your Zoom control panel, you can click Q&A and put your questions there. So yes, answering this question, I already partially answered it during my presentation. One of my like advices, really practical advices, was about not generated content. Right now, you can find many tools that allow you to generate content, and you can, populate your social profile with like dozens of posts. You can publish daily, you can publish twice a day, but it's not going to help you, to be honest. And that's why you need to have like a personal human touch. That's what actually helps you to stand out. It's a very simple and practical, like almost obvious advice, right? But like the second part of your question, and I think it really shows that you have skin in the game, because you're saying that it takes a lot of effort to make your content perform, to provide engagement, to get comments, to reply to incoming comments on your post. And that's exactly why we have built CrossLike. We are automating most of these sections, and we're doing this in a smart way. Uh, for example, to replicate your tone of voice when you reply to some comments, or when you get comments on your post from our community, it replicates your tone of voice. Take into account all your previous posts, all your previous comments that you put manually before, in the context of and yeah, it happens in the context of the post itself. So it's really aligned with the topic. And yeah, my advice would be, again, to take a closer look at our platform. It might sound like, like a promotion of it, but I really know this pain of putting, a lot of effort and trying to get some engagement, comments, maybe asking your friends to put comments. But you really need to get engagement, and you need to do this at scale, and you need to get it from relevant people from the same industry, and that's how our system works underneath. That's what we are really trying to achieve, because the end goal is to activate organic engagement.
Okay, okay, cool. Sounds good. And we have another question. Let's go to the LinkedIn Live. And we have a question from Elizabeth. How do you trigger people to save your content on LinkedIn? I guess it's a really good question.
Yeah, it's a good question. We also like do this inside of our community, just like by having this automation. People from community save content of each other, save it into bookmarks. But really to get this into this like um, viral mode, and make your content go viral, you need um, to push outside people to save your content. And really to do that, you need to publish great content. It's the most straightforward advice here, but people are going to save your comment only if they see value. There are some tricks of how you can, provide this value. People save content if they would like to come back to this content afterwards. So that's why sometimes like a list of different tools has higher chances to being saved. List of some like practical things might be saved with higher probability as well.
Okay, okay. Actually, it's great advice, I guess. And let's go to another question. It's still from Susan. For startups without employees, I guess it means startups with founders only, right? How can we multiply our impact without employee advocacy?
Um, yeah, this is a good scene, This is a really good question. And I would say it's not an easy question to answer. Um, because for startups, especially for the startups who are just maybe validating their idea, being in a very early stage, They don't have their like initial audience. They don't have employees, to utilize and to scale this. Another strategy is to engage with top voices. You have your industry, you're providing services, or you're selling some product, or you have some software like B2B SaaS. In any scenario, there is like industry, and you can select a list of top voices in this industry. And to be honest, this strategy works even better for like early stage startups and people without audience. If you don't have resource to have your own channel to share content, you can utilize top voices. You can go and start commenting under posts of top voices in your industry. And with our tool, again, you can get support from community on your comment and get, let's say, 10, 15, 20 likes on your comment under some very popular post. And this is going to get attention of the author of this post. If you would like to establish relationships with this person, to get in touch, to get your connection request being accepted, but also you're attracting his audience immediately because your comment becomes comment number one. And that's how you can grow in the very beginning. It doesn't take too much effort. And in the very beginning, you can get even more impressions through comments rather than your authentic content, no matter how great it is. You can be creating great content. You can even have employees in your startup and utilize their profiles, but you might be getting 200 impressions on every single post, and just keep at these levels over time. So utilizing strategy of someone else audience with support of our community, becoming comment number one, you can really activate this. You can really get this initial boost, I would say.
Okay, okay, sounds good. And we have another question, I believe. Let me check our feed. I have a question for myself. Didn't you think you can avoid this? So I heard somewhere, probably in the subway, that LinkedIn has changed its algorithm lately, right? And
Yeah.
the impressions, they just dropped down, right?
Yes,
A
yes,
bit.
it's very true. It's very true because even for profiles with, let's say, 100,000 of followers, who used to accumulate easily 20,000 impressions on almost every single post, right now faced significant decrease in impressions. And this happens again because LinkedIn, they have their own interests, they're doing business. Previously, it was only possible to promote your company page posts, to convert them into paid advertisement. But right now, LinkedIn, in October, November, they started to test paid promotion of personal posts. And it's very, simple answer to this question, why my impressions are going down. Um, LinkedIn is forcing you to pay for promoted posts, for your personal posts. This is what happened lately. And I think this is a new reality. We need to operate in this reality. Um, if you don't have huge budgets, you need to do smart, to follow strategy, and strategy is really making this initial engagement boost and get organic engagement on top of it.
Okay, okay, but thank you for this insight. So we
Yeah,
have
sure.
a question from our lovely Dustin Weaver. So he said that CrossLike is going excellent, and thank you for that. And his question is, do you found it is better for them to share company posts with thoughts or to create unique posts? His question is in regard to using employees as traction builders. Actually, it's a very good one.
Yeah, so it has to be unique content. Yes. Like ideal scenario, if you have your company page and you have multiple profiles of your teammates, of your employees. An ideal scenario would be you can have similar content, but it has to be unique, clearly. You cannot just repost something. And I can tell you well, like some insights from LinkedIn that uh, if you just repost something and there is no unique content in between, your repost is not adding value to the original post at all. Like over time, every next repost is adding less and less value because LinkedIn has dynamic feed and they're going to show sometimes they're going to posts if you commented under this post, if you reposted this, if you just liked this, sometimes LinkedIn is going to show it. But only if you're active LinkedIn member, only if you, apart from reposting something, you publish something yourself. So that's why I would recommend do not rely on just reposts. Let's say you have 10 team members and they are going to repost something from company page into their own pages. It's not going to work. They can publish something similar. And perfect setup is if you can provide them content ready to publish, they don't need to put too much effort, but they still have, authentic content within the same topic, again, within the same industry, within the same topic, covering maybe, same ideas, but it has to be unique, yeah.
Sure, yes, I totally agree with you. Our friends actually from Called IQ, right? They are very good at it, and we'll have a speaker actually from Called IQ a little bit later. So right now we have another question from Zahra from Pakistan. She works as a freelance marketer and developing her personal brand. So, uh, but she's still confused about what she should do. Uh, Go with separate profiles or just optimize current. I believe she meant her own profile.
Yeah. So yeah, actually, it's another interesting moment that I did not cover in my speech before. Geography and time zones. It's important to understand who is your ICP and more or less understand their like uh, behavioral patterns, so that you can publish in the right moment of time and be able to reach your audience. Because if you publish great content, if you do this in your own time, it's not going to work. So you need to understand if you're growing your social presence within some industry, but also the question is what geography you are trying to reach. And to do that, you need to be mindful of the time. And here is where you can utilize scheduling of your posts. You can schedule multiple posts upfront and do this, in a very specific time, trying to attract a very specific audience. So here I think it's like, applicable, like practical advice. Okay, so yeah, I'm just trying to go through the list of questions because we're still getting um,
Yes, yes. I guess another question is, right on the spot. Can you please explain how cross-like slides on posts helps build organic reach?
Yeah, so yeah, it's a most common question, I would say. I frequently hear this question. Let me elaborate a bit more and explain how it works underneath. It's not about likes, and it's not about likes. It's just a vanity metric, and it's not going to help you. If you ask your friends, let's say you have 20 friends who are going to like every single post, you're getting a little bit of credibility when people visit your profile, but it's not going to help you to grow by any means. Sometimes it's actually making it even worse. And what we do, what our algorithm does, it prioritizes actions, not just likes, but likes, comments, sharing in DMs, saving into bookmarks, reading through the post, swiping through the carousel, watching video. So there are lots of automations basically doing all these engagement actions and making them look as real as possible, you know, so that you can not differentiate them from real human interaction with your content. And the main goal is not just to bring you 100 likes. It's not going to help you. It's to signal to LinkedIn algorithm that your content is meaningful. But by doing all these engagement actions, in a way, LinkedIn start to promote it organically to a similar audience. So we prioritize actions only from relevant audience, from our community of professionals, and trying to have variety of actions. So it's never about likes, you know.
Okay, okay, yes, yes. Very cool. We have a couple of more questions from John Watkins. My ICP are founders, 2 million, 50 million tech, searching for fixing their narrative while scaling or to get out of stall. Founders look to increase the efficiency of their portfolios. Any suggestions? Suggestions how to use CrossLike? And another question, as the monthly member connects mentioned on the CrossLike, these are genuine profiles or CrossLike created profiles.
Yeah. So clearly, step number one is already done. You successfully identified who is your ICP, right? You understand your like ideal customer profile. Founders running 2 to 50 million tech. And probably understand that they're busy and they're not going to go through incoming connection requests in their LinkedIn profile. And for you to be able to establish conversation, to establish some relationships and to start conversation, you really need to get your connection request being accepted. We have dedicated feature for this kind of for this use case. I've been using this myself, and that's how we invented this feature, to be honest. I wanted to talk to some investors, and investors are normally not replying to you, not accepting your connection request, and you're going to send an email, you're going to send connection request, you're going to attach some message to your connection request. Nothing works. You need to be visible for them. And we have dedicated feature which allows you to provide a list of profiles, and our tool is going to automatically comment under every single post of that person, and our community is going to support this post, bringing, let's say, 10, 15 likes on this post. And in the result, you're clearly becoming visible for this investor, or in your case, your ICP is a founder of a tech company with 2 to 50 million ARR, I guess. Um, yeah, you can become visible for this person. So you're getting higher chances to get your connection request being accepted by him, and then you can do follow up. So sometimes, in my case, I have seen the situations that investors are replying to your comment, saying you directly, send me a connection request. Or maybe moving forward and sending you connection request so that you are getting incoming connection request, which is even better. Yeah, that's how it works. That's how it works because, even if those founders, your ICP, if they, have some personal manager or some person who is managing his profile, in any case, they keep using their profiles themselves, and you will become visible. Um, and if you need to do this at scale, the only choice is to automate this. You want to do this at scale, you automate this. Our system is going to replicate your tone of voice. It's going to be contextual, understand the post itself. You can put like additional context for your prompt, if you would like to mention your company or your product organically in the context of this post. It's going to do this on a regular basis until you get result, like tangible result of incoming request, let's say.
Cool. Thank you for your answer. I guess it's very clear. And we have another one from our lovely Dustin again. I just love this guy. Do you recommend setting up a round robin approach to posting? That way we are getting one per day.
Uh, Yeah, probably yes. I think the question, this question is related to the previous question, which was about utilizing like profiles of your teammates,
Yes.
and like having your company page and your team publishing content. So round robin approach in this case would be publishing like content into different profiles like every single day, because. Previously, and some attendees, they might be familiar with this, that a year ago or a couple years ago, LinkedIn was all about consistency, and you had to publish like daily. Uh, Nowadays it's not working anymore, and if you have multiple profiles, it would be much better to publish once a week in every single profile, but you still like publishing content on a daily basis, but you do this through 5 6 different profiles, and it works much better because you're going to accumulate more impressions. You can still do reposts if you want to have more than one post in every account, but just having one or two posts per single account, and in total per your company having, let's say, 10 15 posts, it's going to give you better coverage, and will let you to attract more potential like customers, or yeah, grow your audience faster.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. For me, it was a problem to understand round robin because last time I heard this word when I was at university in Barcelona. So sometimes
Yeah.
it needs to be explained. So we have another question from our lovely customer. Actually, it's Andreas Shonin. What are your ideas and timeline to ensure quality over quantity when it comes to interaction by the community?
Yeah, so yeah, here we need to you know to split this into two different components. Because first of all, LinkedIn algorithm is evolving. We can clearly see that months over months, it is really different. At some point, LinkedIn was promoting vertical videos, and that's why I was showing in my presentation that year over year there was a 36% growth. So LinkedIn algorithm is evolving, and you really need to pay attention to what performing better at the moment, and adapt your content strategy. And to be honest, I think Sergey is going to talk about this later during our conference, but I just briefly mentioned this. And the second part is really engagement from community, and here is where our CrossLike.club community-driven platform steps in. Uh, we like always try to ensure like quality over quantity, because quantity is not giving you any impact. You can get 100 likes, you can get 200 likes, even like 300 likes on your post, and total amount of impressions would be 400 impressions. But I have seen posts with 100 likes, maybe 10 comments, just 10 comments, and you can get 9,000 impressions. Without having huge audience, just having like 2,000 followers, you can get 8 to 9,000 impressions organically without paid promotions or anything. And this happens specifically because in our community, we have people from, let's say, your industry, and those people engage with your content before anyone else. And LinkedIn algorithm is learning on this pattern and start to show your content to similar profiles, to people from the same industry, to people from the same geography. And that's how you can attract your audience. And that's how you can grow, not just linearly, but sometimes exponentially. Mm, yeah.
Okay, thank you. We have a couple of more minutes and a couple of more questions. And also, I have a question. We know everybody knows about the LinkedIn Boost. this internal feature of LinkedIn, right? You can boost your posts if they are eligible. So I have a question: Is it worth it? Because the prices, they're
Yeah, yeah,
really
that's
high.
exactly what I wanted to say. If you have unlimited budget, yes, sure. You can use all the tools. You can combine all the tools and you can get better results, of course. But LinkedIn, they're trying to sell you, promoted posts, and they're trying to charge you for impressions or maybe for delivering clicks on your link if you put some link in your post. Yeah, in general, it could work, and it works for some people, but you really need to put a lot of money into your posts. And if you have extremely high margins, and you're looking for, or maybe you're looking just for 1, 2 clients per month, for this type of business, this can clearly work. But it's always better, to grow your audience, because growing your audience is not just trying to reach your target audience. It's not just sharing with them some valuable content and keeping them in the loop so that you can establish long-term relationships. You can get some trust. It's also about building community so that people start to talk about you, people start to mention you, people start to talk about your product. So community is like, the next level after you just accumulating impressions. You can purchase promoted post in LinkedIn using LinkedIn itself. But the best result you can get is more impressions. More impressions, maybe some warm leads for sure. But it's not going to activate this organic engagement loop, and you will never be able to you know to run this machine and to grow organically. It's going to work until you keep paying to LinkedIn. And that's why we see that it's sort of no go, I would say, for most of businesses. It's not like sustainable model. And you really need to invest in building your audience, and like at the next level, building your community who is going to talk about you.
Okay, okay. I guess it's super clear right now. What should you choose? CrossLike or LinkedIn Boost? So we have another question from India, actually.
Okay.
Uh, how to grow up in India? Is LinkedIn in India is very differently working? That is actually partially true, I guess. In Western countries, there are different geographical location, and professionals' views are different from India. What's your suggestion for countries like India, where data is free and every single employee, as well as a student, do have a LinkedIn?
So from one location to another, LinkedIn, they don't have any specific adjustments to their algorithm. Algorithm is still, the same, more or less. You just operate in a different time zone. You're trying to reach like people in a different geography, but all the patterns are the same. Behavioral patterns of content consumption, of how people engage, of how people scroll the feed, it's the same. What I can tell you, regarding geography, it's not probably applicable to India as much as, for example, it is applicable to France. Uh, Obviously, there is less content in French language, and if you want to reach clients in France, you can start publishing in French, and LinkedIn might be promoting you more frequently to French audience, because it's just native language for them, and there is not so much content, um, you know, in your space in this specific language. This is what works for sure. You can grow your expertise just by switching to some different language, French, German, whatever, you name it. Yeah, this works for sure. Something what I also want to mention here about algorithm. Um, yeah. Let's keep it for now. Let's move forward because it's maybe not so much applicable here.
Okay, okay, sounds good. Yes, actually, I believe it's a common mistake, especially for India, when you post in English, but your audience actually don't use English. I mean, they're not geographically, eligible for those
Yeah,
content.
but
So it's a flag, right, for LinkedIn
maybe
algorithm.
one more like small advice is geographical arbitrage that you see some top voices they talk about some news happening at the moment, let's say in AI space. There is a new OpenAI model being released yesterday, and a lot of people talk about this specific topic right now, and they do this in English. You can try to have your own view on this and some personal takeaways, and do this in French or in German. Since this topic is like really being hot topic right now, Top Voices is talking about this, you don't have chances to make your content go viral if you do this in English, the same as other Top Voices. But if you do this in a different language, LinkedIn algorithm detects uh, that your post is talking about the same topic but in a different language, and since there is no competition, you can really grow quickly utilizing this, let's say, geographical arbitrage. You can also do arbitrage between different social platforms. When you see some content going viral in Twitter or in Instagram, and do you believe it is also useful for your audience, for like community of professionals in LinkedIn? You can follow this arbitrage and utilize some content from different platform just by spreading this knowledge in LinkedIn because nobody is doing this before, but you clearly see that there is a trend and it goes viral in Instagram or um, Twitter.
Okay, okay, sounds good. So we have 10 more minutes, I believe, until the next speaker. So we have a couple of more questions. You introduced the 360 brew shift from keywords plus likes to semantic relevance plus dwell time. So I have a strategic question. If someone had 90 days, let's say, to build their LinkedIn strategy under this new model, what would you prioritize first?
Mm, I'm always like, about I'm pursuing like systemic approach. You need to build your own system. You need to have your infrastructure. Like first things first, you need to have your company page. Uh, to be honest, even if you're freelancer and providing some services on your own, you still can have company page. Then you need to have your own profile, and then if you have such opportunity, you can utilize profiles of your teammates. So first of all, you need to have infrastructure. And in this case, in this particular case, infrastructure is communication channels, and having more communication channels is better. This is like step number one. Step number two is for some people, and especially for founders, you cannot spend all your time, working full time only on your content, on preparation of this content, and it could be that you are the only one who understands this specific area, this domain, and you cannot just ask some ghostwriters to do this for you because that content is not going to resonate with your audience. Let's say it's about technical product, so you have to do this yourself. So you need to again build your system and have some infrastructure to do that at scale, to plan your content upfront. Maybe you can have some time just doing preparation because I would say it's a really bad situation if you start to publish something for 3, 4 weeks and then you publish nothing for another 3, 4 weeks because you don't have content, you don't have time, you have not prepared. It's not going to work. If you enter this if you enter this game, you should be in this game always. You start from preparation, establish infrastructure, uh, and ideally being able to do this at scale. It's true that there is no ultimate recipe, because previously you could be using one solution to generate some ideas for contents, doing research, ideation, maybe doing drafts or even like polishing your content. And over time, there are new tools that are doing this better. So you still need to explore new tools. Always keep exploring those tools, but more or less, you need to have your system in place always. You might be replacing one tool with another, but you still need to have your set of tools, and those tools should be able to give you support to do this at scale, not just to generate some fancy post, not just to identify some trends once, but you need some tool capable of providing you support over time, and really do this at scale. And I mean, no matter how small your business is, if you're just a founder, single founder, or freelancer, or if you're a big company with like 10 of employees or 100 of employees, in any case, you have to do this like professionally, and you have to do this at scale. And the only way to do this is to build your system.
Okay, thank you. I've written it down. It would be my memo.
Okay,
So
yeah, sure.
we have 5 minutes left until the next speaker, and we have one more question.
Okay.
Uh, it's about our, lovely AI, of course. If AI generated content keeps increasing, where does human advantage become even more critical?
Um, so not sure if I like clearly got this question. Mm, okay, so the question is like that basically we are getting flooded with tons of AI-generated content, right? Th- That
Yes.
that this content is it's quite easy to generate this content, and more people start to generate content. We are getting more content, but here is the beauty, Right now, it's much easier to stand out with authentic content, with content which has like personal human touch. And this type of content is becoming even more valuable. We are getting tons of content, and it's not more, it's not about, sharing some, let's say, numbers, Previously, it was very popular to share some numbers. You're sharing some insights, because you have skin in the game, because you just gathered information from some reports. Let's say you just receive HubSpot report about sales activity in some specific industry, and you want to share this with your audience because you believe it is valuable for them. But right now it's more about having like personal touch, maybe record video, like a vertical simple video where you talk maybe about the same numbers, but instead of just sharing what was previously valuable, you need to do more than this, because right now everybody share numbers. Everybody share like top 10 tools for something, or whatever. We are familiar with this, and we are tired of this. Sometimes people treat LinkedIn as a different social platform, but it's not different in fact. It is not different from Instagram or Twitter or whatever other platform, because behind this platform are the same people. Yes, these people talk about business, they are doing business, but their behavior is the same. Emotional reaction, emotional response to what you post, it is similar to how they react to, let's say, some nice Instagram image. So that's why it's important to publish almost like personal content, your own story. Even if you like to share something like valuable, and you believe it's valuable itself, just some numbers, recent numbers published by some report, You need to do more than this, definitely.